Body just as advertised. We do big things. We got the producer, not the double A deucer, not the triple A deucer, but the producer behind the scenes getting folks on. Brandon Arvidson is here. Brandon, what's up, brother? How we doing tonight?
Good. How are you guys?
Blessed.
Fantastic. Speaking of big man, I met him for the first time in person, a couple months ago, Daniel. This ain't no little guy, man. This is a big guy. And you know me, I usually have some confidence, but I only grow so tall, you know what I'm saying? But got to ask you, Brandon, I got to see you pitch in person in Knoxville, Lindsey Nelson, right out the gate. Man, great atmosphere. Talk about what it's been like, coming from San Jack, obviously great school, but we're talking SEC now. What's it been like, man, pitching in Knoxville?
Oh, it's awesome, man. I mean, the fan base is awesome. It's definitely a huge stage compared to the 15 people I threw in front of last year. So, throwing in front of all the fans is just awesome and a dream come true.
Yeah, no doubt. And, I know something Daniel's going to want to know, like getting to see your stuff, man. I like chance to break it down, Daniel. I know you want to know what's in the arsenal, what's been working for him, because I know that just this past week, everything was working for him. My man went 5 innings, so get into it, DB.
Yeah. Brandon, I always get curious as far as, when we have big time arms on, like what is the pitching repertoire from the start of college to where you are at currently? Because obviously technology has definitely changed. We're talking about spin rates, velo. We're talking about all of these different things. And on top of that, you're getting metrics from hitters on launch angles and swing patterns and all kinds of different things that can tell you a lot of what you need to do to up your game and up your pitch selection and what they need to do and how to grip. And like, it's just crazy science. But for you, what is that kind of evolution of your pitching game been like from grip standpoint and the pitches that you throw from the start to where you are now?
Yeah, I mean, I remember coming in my freshman year, I was a two-seam fastball guy, slower curveball, and a changeup. And then when I went to San Jack, I think my slot just got a little higher, so I learned how to backspin a little bit more. So I switched to a four-seam. And then my pitching coach there helped me kind of develop the slider I have now, which turned into a harder, like sharper kind of gyro slider thing. And then I still have the same changeup as well. So it's changed a little bit.
When you're talking about, because I can grasp the concept of being able to work through the mechanic part and like just having a lot of faith and trust in the coach to go, hey, we're going to change some stuff up on a pitch. We're going to throw it this way. And that's way different than the way that you've thrown it. Or it might be a new pitch altogether that you're having to learn. And for those out there, you just don't grab a baseball for the first time in a certain way and you're able to make it do exactly what it's supposed to do. Like there is like this evolution and this progress that takes some time. And
for sure,
how long did it take for you to feel comfortable being able to throw that slider and throw your change up to where you're like, oh, those are my pitches. I can just grip it at any point, any count that I need to throw it or a certain location. Like I know I can hit those spots and those counts whenever with those pitches.
Yeah. Basically the whole fall last year at my junior college season. I think it kind of came naturally when I developed better mechanics. And then I was always trying to figure out how to throw a breaking ball harder, and I could never figure it out. And I was trying to like create spin on it and get on the side of it. And then my pitching coach, Josh Side, he helped me just like the visualization of it, of like staying behind it and throwing it like a heater and then letting the grip work on it. And then like, honestly, I kind of picked up the breaking ball pretty early. And then the confidence just came as the spring went on.
Yeah, it's similar to like, swing pattern if you play golf. Like you can't always go out there and put 100% swing on every single club or every single shot that you have. Like pitching is very similar in that like you can't be max effort on every single type of grip. Sometimes you've got to slow things down. Sometimes you've got to, grip or pressure.
You just told me why I'm not good at golf, because I try to rip everything, bro.
That's it, man. And
the goal isn't to hit it as hard as I possibly can.
Of course.
Clearly, you need to stay off the bump too, Jim. Like
I need to look. I can't do anything. I can bowl still. Like this old man don't got much in the arsenal no more. It is what it is. I definitely ain't gonna go out there and try to hit off Brandon anytime soon. But dude, you 3.69 ERA, 2-0 this year, 31 innings pitched. Daniel, check this: 56 Ks to only 17 walks. I love that in 31 and 2/3 innings. Like we talked about your expectations coming in, man. Have you met those expectations for yourself personally?
Personally, I think I'm getting there over the past, I'd say month of the season. I kind of hit a lull there for a little bit where the walks were just going up. And the strikeouts were still there, but the walks is what I wanted to get away from. And just really attacking hitters. And I was trying to figure out the why of what was going on. And I think part of it was just the focus level in the bullpen and then going into the game. So I switched that focus level a little bit and fixed some things, and then it's helped tremendously over the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, this past performance, you're just out there mowing them down against Texas. I'm talking to Daniel in real time. Obviously, I'm there. I'm like, man, he's having the performance of a year, and it kept going and it kept going. And man, it was like I get why Tony V just didn't want to take you out. Like it was like Nate Snead was up and ready, and it was like, you know what, forget Nate. Like we're just gonna let RV keep rolling. So man, it was cool to see you on that stage in the SEC tournament going against that team. And doing what you're doing, but not just you aside, but as a team, how cool was it? I'm sure you realized the whole battle for who's the real UT. How fun was it winning that game?
I mean, it was awesome. It was a full team effort. Liam
Keelan had a good time to come out of that slump he was having.
Yeah, my roommate, he picked me up big time. And then, I mean, it was just a huge team effort. Liam didn't have his best day, but he's been Superman for us all year. And then the bullpen behind me, Dylan Loy and Nate picked me up to get me out of that jam. And then Gavin did Gavin things. So it was just a full team effort, and it was a huge win for us.
Dude's so good that he went into a slump and was still batting like 360 because he was batting 413. It's crazy. But the team is looking good. I told people, and me and Daniel were talking about before you came on, like Vandy was on a heater coming into the tournament, and that's actually who I picked. You can check out my bracket. And so when Tennessee fans were asking me after what happened, you know how it is. One game is just one game, but I think that was just, the hot team came in. Tennessee obviously had played a couple games already, Vandy hadn't. And so it's just one of those things you can just, push it off and go in. And what I'm excited about is obviously, with Marcus and with Liam, who the frontline guys are, but you told me coming in, you wanted to be a weekend starter. And I feel like you and Tegan Coons have now cemented yourselves as being that third and fourth guy, no matter what order it comes. So I feel like going into this, regional and how things lay out when you got to have four guys in most cases, pushing all arms got to be available. I feel like you're in a good spot. I feel like your boy Tanner Franklin even coming in right behind you. Both y'all coming in. So I feel real good about where this pitching staff is. We know that y'all can hit. What's the vibe like? Obviously, I talked about what's the vibe like beating Texas, but man, now y'all found out y'all are definitely hosting a regional in Knoxville. You've been there this year playing. I've been there, watched it. I know that to me, it's a top 3 environment. Like I'll argue with anybody. Yeah. I get that there's only 6,700. It's quality over quantity. That crowd gets electric, man. Just like how excited is this team to be at home for this regional?
Yeah, I think we're excited. Just to go back and kind of hit a reset button on home field advantage, because I think we felt bad because we just struggled at home this year a little bit, and the fans were coming out and we were losing series. But we're just excited to get back and just give the fans something to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. Daniel, you know what we need to do with them while I'm thinking about it? Haven't had a big lefty. We got to do the blind rankings. Not right this second, but Daniel, you need to get your blind rankings. We got to do a lefty blind rankings pitcher. You think you can handle it, Daniel?
Do I think I can handle it?
Yeah, we should still have it on the books. I don't know if he can handle it. I'm making sure you can handle hosting before he has to play it.
I mean, do you think I can handle this? I mean,
I'm just making sure because I'm making you do it on the fly. If so, you know what I'm saying. I got it copied and pasted right now. I'm gonna send it to you. But before we do that, Daniel, you got any other questions while we got him here? You want to ask him about the upcoming games? I got no worries about Tennessee, but you can ask them about looking at the tape.
Yeah, here's a couple questions
Yep.
prior to getting into the postseason play. I was here like, what's your take on 0-2 counts, or what is the philosophy at Tennessee on 0-2 counts?
Just challenge the hitter.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't really like waste pitches. Like we want to throw something competitive in the zone or right around the zone, and then just kind of attacking the hitter and making them hit it.
See, for so long I agreed as a player, like coaches were so much like, don't put a hittable pitch out there. And okay, to me, there's a difference between a hittable pitch and
Yeah.
a a poorly located hittable pitch. All
Yeah.
right. Because in my opinion, and you might feel differently, but I always thought 0-2 was a defensive, swinging position for the batter. So
Mhm.
why would I take a defensive approach to a guy who's taking a defensive approach? To
Yeah.
me, I feel like you have the batter on their heels at that point. Attack them. Go
Yeah.
at
Exactly.
them. Now don't, for the sake of throwing a pitch in a poorly located area just to say I'm attacking a hitter. No, throw a well located pitch, but go at them. Like
Yeah.
don't give in. And even in 1-2 counts too. And I would say almost certainly, when you fall behind an account, you almost got to have that mentality too, because like if you don't have that attack mentality 2-0, it's definite you're going to go 3-0, and now you're really behind the gun, and it's like, all right, now I've got to groove one or find the spot. And
Yeah.
that's when trouble happens and you start trying to do more than what you need to do, because hitters will get themselves out.
Yeah.
That's proven
I
over
do like
time.
when it's an 0-2 count and you hit them with a fastball in the corner. They were thinking off speed, and you just blow by them, and you could tell the look on the hitter's face, like, damn, I was not expecting that to come.
Yeah.
But
An important question that I haven't got to ask you now that you've wore all the uniforms. Got to know, I'm a big uniform guy. Tennessee's got one of the best, if not the best, kids. What's your favorite, man? Grays, blacks, the creams, pinstripes? What we talking about?
I think the grays are my favorite.
That's
But the
Daniel's
close
too.
second were the whites we wore against Alabama. Those ones are clean too.
Yeah,
But
they don't have any bad ones. That's for sure. And when you got like 5 of them to wear, it's nice. And no matter what they're gonna roll out. I know the blacks make a lot of people feel dangerous.
yeah, no, the blacks are awesome as well. But those are
At the end of
probably
the day,
my
the grays for me and Daniel, we like them the best.
yeah, they're cool.
definitely.
Last question I got for you, then I'll let Daniel play this game. So you can't overlook who's in front of you, but I just got to know, honest truth, y'all. If y'all win and Arkansas takes care of business, has there been any talk about how much you would like to get? Because that series was highly competitive, and I know Tennessee doesn't have much left for Arkansas. Was there talk about the whole idea that you get a chance of redemption going there, or is it just we're not even talking about the next round at all?
I wouldn't say we're really talking about it. I mean, obviously everybody's looked at it. Like it's not a question on that.
I mean,
But
people across the country got excited immediately. Like
yeah,
people forgot that they got to play a first round. They're like Tennessee, Arkansas, let's go.
yeah. Obviously that would be an insane atmosphere to be a part of. We were just there a couple weeks ago, and it looked like a European soccer game out in left field with all the flags and stuff.
They were nice to y'all though, man. When I went there and LSU was there, they weren't very nice to us. I actually heard nothing but good things. So, but I imagine in postseason they may not be as nice, Brandon.
Yeah, they probably won't be, but I mean, I think we're just really focused on this weekend, and just game by game approach, because there's a lot of talented teams in our region. So
If you get a chance to pitch against Merrick Houston, man, watch out. The kid can ball. Wake
right.
Forest.
All right,
Daniel, play your
Brandon.
game.
Here's the deal. We're gonna play blind rankings. Have you ever played blind rankings before?
I do not think so.
All right, so it's simple. You're going to blind rank left-handed pitchers. I'm going to not share the entire list. I'm going to share with you one person at a time.
All right.
Every time I share someone, you slot them into a position. The fun in this is like you don't know who's coming, so you have to be strategic about where you're placing these, because you might get a Jim Cross thrown in there, and you might slot him in.
This way. The first time we played this, they couldn't have went better. We didn't know it. We put the order in. I'm not going to say the player's name because it's going to reveal somebody who's in this. But basically, he said growing up as a left-handed pitcher, a certain somebody was his favorite player all time. Well, he ended up slotting this guy number 5 because of the way it laid out, and he had no clue that he was coming. So it ended up being hilarious.
So here we go. We'll make it easy out of the gate. You heard of a guy named Barry Zito?
I have.
He's pretty good. I mean, if you want to learn to throw a breaking ball, like you need to look up some Barry Zito, like for real.
So where's he at? 1 through 5.
I'd go 3.
3 with Zito. Okay. All right. Not a bad spot. All right. What about a guy by the name of Randy Johnson? You heard of that guy?
1.
1?
No hesitation. 1.
Hey, I mean, if you're wanting to know, if you're blind ranking the best chaw chewers in the game, like he's probably number 1. If you're,
He was rocking the mustache before it was a thing. I know that.
I mean,
This is true. Yeah.
he's a scary dude. He is
Think
a
about
very
it.
scary
His
dude.
hair flow, Daniel, and his mustache. Like I feel like everybody's trying to be Randy Johnson now.
Why not? If you can't beat him, join him. Dallas Keuchel. Dallas Keuchel. 5?
Yeah.
All right.
Prime
Slide him in.
Keuchel was really good, but
Yeah.
let's say 5.
Throw DK in there at 5. What about a guy by the name of, let's see, Madison Bumgarner?
Are we talking like playoff Bumgarner
We're
or
talking,
Oh, of course, that is
yeah, we're
best.
talking about the
All right,
peak
2.
of these guys.
2?
2?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll put Matty Bum in there
So
at
to
2.
tell you now that you said him, that was Harrison's favorite player all time, and he ended up because Daniel did him in a different order, so he was dead last. The only spot he had left open was 5. So his favorite player he ranked last.
And I'm gonna go ahead. You only have 1 position left, and I'm gonna slot this guy in, and I'm gonna reveal who that last
All
guy
right.
is now. Clayton Kershaw.
I knew he was gonna come up.
He went in at 4. All right. Looking at your rankings, how do you think he did? Would you change any?
Yeah, I mean, I put Kershaw at 2.
Yeah.
And then slide everything back, he'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Kershaw.
They're
I
all
mean,
awesome. Can't go wrong with it.
Kershaw 1 or 2. Like people kind of forget about him because he hasn't really pitched a whole lot recently. But man,
Where are you putting Brandon Arvidson on this list? Number 3, number 4.
I got some ground to cover in terms of career wise. But
Hey, we look for it. Look, I told you when you came from San Jack, I expected big things, man. And to see it with my own eyes this past weekend, the growth you've had over the course of the season, you've obviously been good all season. Hey, man, sky's the limit, especially these Tennessee guys. I don't know if you've been paying attention, but me and Daniel know because we've been able to claim that we got 17 guests that have now made it pro. Over half of them are Tennessee, and there's a bunch knocking on the door. So when you go through that Tennessee program and play for Frank Anderson, good things seem to happen afterwards. So maybe one day you're on this list for, I don't know, Daniel, we doing this 20 years from now asking guys?
I mean, I hope so. Hope we're making a little bit more money, but
yeah, just a little bit. No, hey, Daniel always says that I'm good with just going and watching you guys. He does see his problem is he don't get to come watch y'all enough. He'd feel differently.
yeah, I probably would.
Well,
but
anything you want to plug or promote before you get out of here?
no, nothing.
Right. This weekend it's on. Everybody better check it out. Daniel, give me some times. I don't know which time Tennessee's got.
They got 6 p.m. on the 30th. They've taken on Miami of Ohio, the Red Hawks, and they're red hot, ready to come in. And
I'm telling you, wait till you see that environment, Brandon. Like I was there last year for the regional, and you thought it was good on the SEC weekends. I was there, and I'm trying to think. It was Southern Miss. Yeah, it was absolutely electric. It's like I said, quality over quantity. That 6,700 is going to be extremely loud, and you get a chance to toe the rubber in that game. You're going to feel it in a good way.
I'm excited. It'll be a good one.
maybe
Well, we appreciate you taking the time on short notice, Daniel. Man, he's clutch, man. This is what a bullpen guy does. He comes in when you need him to save you.
he's like, just put me in, coach. I'm ready. Just whatever you need.
Exactly.
Bases loaded, nobody on. You get in a jam late in the 7th. Just I'm good. I got you.
Exactly.
Thing out, but
And I tell you what, go ahead and sign this bad boy off. We'll just reschedule Riley. Typical Vandy behavior. That's why they're not Tennessee.
Hey, he was dodging that pregame warm up question. That's what these guys are dodging. Because I'm curious. I want to
The
know.
one where they're dancing, doing the ring around the rosies, Brandon, you know what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Daniel was
I'm,
finally, we've had 3, or he'll be our 3rd venue guest. We didn't ask the first 2. Daniel had it locked and loaded.
I was ready. I'm gonna have to keep it in my back pocket. But
Look, Griffin Merritt, former Tennessee player, defended these guys. He said, sometimes, man, you just got to do stupid stuff for camaraderie. And me and Daniel were like, we get that, man, but hand holding, dancing in a circle may just be a little too far.
Yeah, might be a little much.
well, Brandon, we appreciate it, man. Best of luck this weekend. Take care of business. Have a safe, successful, fun postseason play, and hopefully the run is as magical as it was for the Volunteers last year. And when you guys win it all, we'll bring it back and we'll break it down and talk about it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Brandon Arvidson, everybody. Man, appreciate him hopping in. What a dude. Last minute, just doing big things. I appreciate that, Jim.
Yeah, he's clutch, and saved it to where we didn't get into our super speaks because I felt like we needed to wait until after regionals goes down, not get too far ahead of ourselves. But I do know I got a text, Daniel. We'll see what availability is, but Coach Bobby said he wants to get on and chop up some baseball. That would be a good one.
I was just talking about Coach Bobby, Georgia Tech. Let's go.
So we may get an ACC mind to come in. We'll break down all this regional action with him. So be on the lookout for that. Be on the lookout for Riley rescheduled. We got Wednesday night, Kate Anderson, man, big one put up on the fly. So we may have not had things go the way they were supposed to, Daniel, but another big night and a lot of things on deck.
Absolutely. Well, Jim, this has been the In Off the Bench podcast. As always, remember, strong body, sharp minds, grit and grind all the time. We're out.